music. You hear bluegrass, you hear gospel, you hear rockabilly, you hear honky-tonk, you hear traditional country.
One of the things about country music, the integrity sometimes gets left behind for the ring at the cash register, if you will. But I think there's a handful of people in country music, such as Ricky Skaggs, Travis Tritt, Dwight Yoakam, Pam Tillis, Allison Krauss, Patty Loveless, me, Vince, people like that. We have a little bit deeper call and maybe a deeper responsibility than somebody that's just coming to town right now and having their first hits. But I think that group of people I just mentioned are some of the people that it's going to take to really hang on to the roots and the integrity and the soul of country music. Bye. One of the things that people don't know about Nashville is it had a great black music scene. A guy named Slim Harpo made some records around Nashville. And Slim had a song that called Shake Your Hips. I've never had a chance to do this at the Ryman, so here you go, Shake Your Hips.
I want to tell you about a dance that's going round. Rockabilly cats with the palms real high, wearing black draped coats, real gone guys, cool skinheads with the rolled up jeans, looking real tough and mighty mean. Well, there's a rumble in Brighton tonight, ringside seats for the neighborhood fight. Ain't a damn thing that the cops can do. There's a rumble in Brighton tonight. Under their collars, they got razors in their shoes. I said, go, cat, go, their battle cry. World War III is starting to brew. Now the skinheads are always the backjacks, and they're looking mighty mean. They got chains wrapped around their fingers, and their heads are all shaved clean. Well, there's a rumble in Brighton tonight, ringside seats for the neighborhood fight. Ain't a damn thing that the cops can do. Rumble in Nashville tonight. Standing, so let's all go get a beer. I said no team is a winner. We're gonna see you all next year. Well, there's a rumble in Nashville tonight, ringside seats for the neighborhood fight. Ain't a damn thing that the cops can do. Rumble in Tennessee tonight, rumble in Tennessee tonight, rumble in the hills tonight, rumble in Tennessee tonight, rumble in Nashville tonight. Well, there ain't a damn thing that the cops can do. Line right up for a sideline view. Ringside seats for the neighborhood fight. Rumble in Nashville tonight.
Hey, folks, don't go away. We've got a wonderful tribute to Sun Records.
And vocalists probably without microphones. That's really when it sounds great.
And I'm glad that it's around for a whole new century. And so it's home. It's home.
Thank you, folks. Welcome back. Oh, my goodness. We got a great crowd tonight here at the Ryman Auditorium. Thank you all for being so good and tuning us in on Monday nights. Yeah. You know, we couldn't get Brian Setzer and Marty Stewart here without doing some songs that was huge, huge hits for a record company in Memphis, Tennessee called Sun Records. Boy, they had the smoke, man, let me tell you. They had Johnny Cash, they had Jerry Lee Lewis, they had Carl Perkins, they had Roy Orbison, man, Charlie Rich.
Warren Smith.
Billy
Lee Riley.
Yeah, and all them rowdy guys. And so, Brian, I'm going to ask you to kick us off with Mystery Train. How about it? Yeah.
Any rockabillys out there?
Yeah.
Train ride, 16 coaches long. Train ride, 16 coaches long. Well, that long black train, it's got my baby gone. Hey! Mystery train. Coming around the bend. Yeah. Mystery train. Coming around the bend. Mystery train. Coming around the bend. Mystery train. Coming around the bend. Well, it took my baby. Oh, it never will again.
Great, Brian.
We got lucky.
Son, that's some fine picking there, buddy. Marty, you're up next, boy.
You know what? We've often talked about people that influenced our past. Now, I remember I was down in Mississippi one time, and there was this sound came across the radio, and that sound changed my life, and it went like this. You know what?
Yeah.
You gotta get it down real low. I keep a close watch on this heart of mine.
Yeah.
I keep my eyes wide open all the time. I keep the ends out for the tie that binds. Because you're mine, I walk the line. I find it very, very easy to be true. I find myself alone when each day is through. Yes, I'll admit that I'm a fool for you. Because you're mine, I walk the line. Because you're mine, I walk the line.
That's great, Marty. Well, We've got a friend of ours in town, and we couldn't pass up an opportunity to ask him to come out and be with us tonight. He's such a great guy, a great artist, a wonderful songwriter, good friend. Elvis Costello! Come out here, Elvis! Hey, Elvis. Are you just passing through?
Yeah, just passing through.
Just passing through. Cool, man.
You know, I heard you talking back there about Sun, and you know, there's one guy on Sun that nobody ever seems to remember about. He cut many records after he left Sun and had lots of big hits, but nobody seems to talk about Charlie Rich. Can we do a Charlie Rich one?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do one.
I got loaded last night on a bottle of gin, and I had a fight with my best girlfriend. But when I'm drinking, I am nobody's friend. Oh, please, baby, wait for me until you let me out again. I know the same thing has happened before, and each time it happens, I hate it more and more. But when I'm drinking, I am nobody's friend. So please, baby, wait for me until they let me out again. I spent a whole lot of time sitting and thinking, sitting and just thinking about you. I didn't spend so much time sitting and drinking. Still have the love I thought we knew. I won't promise the same thing won't happen again, but I can promise it'll be a long, long, long time till then. 'Cause when I'm drinking, I am nobody's friend. So please, baby, wait for me until they let me out again. Oh, please, baby, wait for me until they let me out again. Oh, please, baby, wait for me until they let me out again.
Hey, Elvis! Charlie would be proud. That's great. Well, we couldn't do a Sun Records tribute without doing this great song. My buddy Carl Perkins. Well, how come you say when you will, when you won't? You say you don't, baby, when you don't. Tell me, honey, how do you feel? Tell me the truth now, is love real? 'Cause oh, honey, don't. Yeah, honey, don't. Honey, don't. Honey, don't. Yeah, honey, don't. She said you will and you won't. Honey, don't. Play my brain. Winchester. Thank you, guys. Elvis Costello. Thank you, Elvis. Brian Setzer and Marty Stewart.
We'll be right back with Monday night concerts on TNN.
Brian Setzer is going to always kick the boundaries and test the waters and try new things.
The big band idea came to me just because I thought, why can't you do that?
Brian has put together a 17-piece orchestra led by Brian on the electric guitar.
You know, I'm basically a rockabilly, and then I bring in blues and jazz and swing and country.
These guys play hot, big band rock and roll.
I don't know how it's still together because it's 17 pieces. You know, it's 5 saxophones, 4 trombones, 4 trumpets, stand-up bass, drums, piano, and me. House is Rockin' is a great song by the late Stevie Ray Vaughn. My big band plays it. It all seems to work together, all this kind of music, country and rockabilly and rock and roll, and to me it's always really never been much different.
Welcome back, folks. The dynamic duo, Marty Stewart and Brian Setzer. Woo!
Hey, folks, stick around for an old bluegrass tune when Marty and I return.
Did you know as a teenager, Marty Stewart played poker with Lester Flatt, Roy Acuff, and Bill Monroe, and he won?
It's really great having Marty Stewart on the show tonight. He and I both share a lot of the same early influences, the Stanley Brothers, Bill Monroe, and Lester Flatt.
You're always in my heart and on my mind.
Lester worked with Bill Monroe's Bluegrass Boys until 1948, when he left to form his 21-year partnership with Earl Scruggs. My relationship to Marty Stewart goes back a long, long ways. He and I are like two peas in one pod, Barney and Andy.
You know, I can't think of a time in my life that Ricky Skaggs hadn't been there. Well, I discovered bluegrass music when I was 12 years old. My daddy took me to Bean Blossom, Indiana. And the first two musicians I laid my eyes on up there were Ricky Skaggs and Keith Whitley. They were working with Ralph Stanley. And a year later, I went to work with Lester Flatt.
One of the songs Marty and I chose for the show tonight was a song called I'm Blue and I'm Lonesome Too. It's a great old bluegrass standard that he and I both grew up listening to and learning as we were kids. It was co-written by Hank Williams Sr. and Bill Monroe, and it's a pretty awesome song, and it has that high, lonesome sound.
Yes, sir. When we come back, a special moment with Brian Setzer.
I guess the mark of a great musician, any great musician, is the fact that when they play, you can actually tell who it is. We asked Brian to pick a song that he could do just by himself. He chose this great song, Sleepwalk, and I heard it today at rehearsal, and it absolutely blew me away. When I hear Brian Setzer play guitar, I know it's him immediately. He has a tone, he has a sound. That's a mark of a great musician, and I know it's got to give him a lot of pleasure knowing that he's that distinctive.
Hey, stick around, folks. We've got a rockin' and rollin' finish.
I am here to nominate Ricky Skaggs for the Country Music Hall of Fame, cause he's talented, he's the real deal, and he's been around a long time. How long, you ask? Well, did you know that Ricky Skaggs was hired when he was 15 years old to play with Ralph Stanley and the Clinch Mountain Boys? Oh, and by the way, his buddy Keith Whitley was hired to do the same. Country music history, no extra charge.
Thank you so much, folks. We've had a great night tonight. I hope you've had fun. I want to thank my friend again, Brian Setzer, for being here with us tonight, doing such a great job, Brian. What a pleasure. And my pal, Marty Stewart. Marty, thank you, buddy. There's an old song that Bill Monroe recorded years and years ago, The Rocky Road Blues. Here we go, Vaughn. Another
try. And you'll never miss your woman until she says goodbye. Well, the road is rocky, but it won't be rocky long. Oh, the road is rocky, but it won't be rocky long. 'Cause another man that got my woman and gone. I wish to the Lord you'd bring my woman back home. Oh, Lord. I wish to the Lord you'd bring my woman back home. Get it, boys? I'm not so lonesome, just don't want to be alone. Yeah, the road is rocky, but it won't be rocky long. Yeah, yeah. Oh, the road is rocky, but it won't be rocky long. 'Cause another man that got my woman and gone. Thank you again, Brian Setzer, and my good friend Marty Stewart. And how about a hand from the boys in the band? All right, guys, yeah. Good night, folks. Thank you for being with us. We love you.
Woo, I love this job.